Hiya, Matt Baker here with the Petcast. Now, this is a podcast all about pets, so I am towing my caravan as a mobile studio all around the country to meet famous people and not just talk about their pets, but to meet their pets as well. Hiya, Matt Baker here. Welcome to the Petcast. Now, I have brought the Petcast caravan to Vauxhall City Farm in South London. Now, the reason that I've toured it to the capital is my guest is presenting Radio 1 in a matter of hours. So let's welcome to the Petcast the man who describes his dog as the love of his life, Matt Edmondson. Come on in.
Baker.
Hello, Oscar.
Hello, lovely to see you.
Matt. Are you all right?
Yeah, is he all right to come here?
100%. Look, the whole purpose of this caravan is it's
Oh my
totally
God, Oscar, there's photos of you.
You've got photos of you. You've got a Petcast mug there with your name on.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
I know. We should have put Oscar's name on, to be honest with you.
Oh,
but we do have treats, Oscar, if you would like a little...
Oh my God, would he?
Would you like a little nibble?
Yeah, you know how to please your guests.
Now then, can I give that to you?
All podcasts should do this, by the way. Like, you come on and they feed you a little treat.
I'm going to hold on to that and let you have a little nibble, because being a terrier, you'll no doubt love that little nibble. There it is. Whoa, what a lovely boy he is.
He's a good dog.
So what can you tell us about Oscar? Where do we start with Oscar? How old is he?
He's 14.
Is he?
He's 14, yeah.
Mate, you look amazing for 14.
Do you know what he does, doesn't he? He's
Yeah,
he's in good nick.
he's in very good nick.
We meet a lot of you know, the classic conversation with other dog owners when you're out. It's like, oh, well, who's your dog? What's their name? How old are they? And whenever I tell people his age, they're like, what? I thought he was a puppy. He's got big puppy energy, haven't you, Oscar?
He has, and his coat is looking fantastic.
Well, he had a bath this morning, Matt, because yesterday he was looking yellow.
I see.
And I woke up this morning, I was like, oh, I don't think I can take him to the Petcast looking like that. It was fate, because we did an online shop. And they messed the order up, and they put dog shampoo in the shop.
What? Just purely by fate?
And so I came down today and I said to my wife, have you ordered this? And she said, no, I thought you had. It just came in the shop. And so I thought, right, we'll give that a go.
Well, it obviously works
yeah,
well.
The universe was telling us that this dog needed a wash.
Yeah.
So yes, he's had a proper scrub up. He's off. You know, he was verging on sort of a yellowy grey beforehand.
Yeah.
He's not one who loves a bath, but I don't know. I've never met a dog who does.
Yeah. Do you know what, Matt? This is reminding me of old times, right? Me and you sat opposite each other with a dog. I'm thinking like 2004, 2005.
Yes.
CBBC in the broom cupboard, so to speak. Me trailing what's coming up for Blue Peter.
That's
and you
right, yeah.
linking in and out of everything.
Yeah, so was it Mabel at that time?
So Meg was my Blue Peter
Meg was
dog.
yours,
but
yeah.
yes, we had a Mabel. We had Mabel, who was like a collie cross, and then we had Lucy, who you may remember.
Lucy, yes.
The golden retriever, who was literally like, you know, she would just take you on a lead anywhere. But yeah, Meg was my border collie, and we would spend hours in the Blue Peter garden.
Yes.
Just like exercising her before we did a live show. Yeah. And then we'd jump in and come and see you.
What a lovely thing to be able to bring your dog to your job.
Amazing.
Just so nice.
I know.
Did Meg have an agent? And did you get to charge extra for Meg being there?
My dad was Meg's agent.
Right.
Like, I mean, he really was.
Did Meg get a show fee? Or was it just like, no. Meg's working for free here?
The deal was that Meg was with me, and whatever happened, she would come with me. So even she wasn't like owned by the show. It meant like when I left, I didn't have to say goodbye to Meg and leave her there, which obviously was a big thing. But it's funny really, because when I started on the show, the then editor, the big boss, Steve Hockin, was like, of all the things that you've seen on Blue Peter recently, what would you like to have done? This was like part of my interview initially. Obviously, he was thinking I would say, I want to jump out of aeroplanes, or I want to I said, I would have liked to have trained your dogs, because I don't think they're trained very well, which was like, oh my God. But anyway, it all went well, got this gig, and then a few months later, Meg turned up, because I actually didn't feel comfortable in that world without a dog, coming from a farm and what have you. And it was an alien world for me moving to London. I mean, I don't know how you felt when you first came to London and the big city, you know, that whole sort of BBC world.
I was so certain that that's what I was going to do. I think throughout my life, I've fallen into, and they tend to last about 5 or 6 years, obsessions, where I'm like, I need to know everything about that. And when I was a kid, it was TV, and it was really specifically CBBC. I was interested in what they call presentation of the bits between the shows.
Yeah.
So I never wanted to do Blue Peter or Newsround or anything like that. I wanted to be the guy that was like, here's the show you like. Here's Tracy Beaker.
Yeah.
Obsessed with it.
Who do you remember doing that?
I remember Andy Peters on Live and Kicking.
Yeah.
And that was a big deal for me. For me, it was Steve Wilson.
Yes.
Dick and Dom.
Oh, yeah.
Kirsten O'Brien.
Yes, of course.
Those sorts of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of Kirsten and Otis the Aardvark, a lot of Steve Wilson.
Yes.
And actually, Dick and Dom before they were Dick and Dom. So it was, Dominic Wood and Richard McCaw. And they were, look, I feel completely rejected here. Unbelievable. You've chosen your Matt.
Oh, mate. He knows where it's at, don't he?
Yeah, I think it's because you've hidden treats by
He's
those
looking
cushions.
for them. He's thinking, where are
He's thinking, this man gave me a little nibble.
No,
there's got to be more. Look at you. God, he knows how to work a camera, doesn't
he? That is impressive. You're sort of doing we had a dog who was amazing, Bob, a collie, and for our farm show. And he knew when the cameras were turning to the point where he turned into like Simba from The Lion
Incredible.
King. And he was like stand on rocks and just sort of lift his head when the wind was blowing. And all of his, his beautiful coat would just be flapping in the wind.
Yeah, you were built for show business, weren't you?
Yeah.
I would watch CBBC and I'd think, these people are doing what I'm doing, which is I'm a kid watching CBBC.
Yeah.
They seem to be having such fun. It didn't even feel like work. They're kind of with their friends and they're watching these shows that I like. And it became so solidified in my mind. Well, that's what I'm going to do. That will be that'll be the job. And it never occurred to me that I wouldn't do it.
And you're still effectively doing that now, aren't you? Because you're doing the links between songs.
Exactly,
and what have you. So you're obsessed with these kind of like mini items.
Exactly.
Hitting your viewer or your listener with this energy that then carries the story on through the rest of the program.
I guess it's like the energy of like, oh, I'm one of you. We're in this together. We're enjoying this song together. We're enjoying this show together, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
And that
live feel is like, there's nothing like it.
Live TV in particular, it's weird. I feel almost at my most comfortable when I'm live on TV, which is slightly problematic because most of the time I'm not.
Yeah.
But there is something about it where it gives me a sense of like, oh, this is where I'm going to be. This is I feel really peaceful here. I didn't have that with radio. I thought I would because I started doing telly and it had been such a fixation. I literally used to, in my bedroom, we had this little alarm clock that we took on our camping holidays, and I used to put it in front of the mirror and I would say to myself, right, I'm going to speak for exactly 30 seconds. And I would sit and do it and I would try and link into a show, I'd link into Blue Peter and try and hit it bang on the 30. I was like drilling that from the age of about 10.
Yeah. It's a heck of a skill.
So by the time that I came to do it, I felt like, I got it. Like the grammar of telly, I understood it was in my DNA. And I thought with radio, I was like, well, it must be the same. It's just that, but without a camera, it's a bit easier. And I learned really quickly that it's not the same, and that it is. I found it so much harder.
What are the main differences, would you say? And what is difficult about it?
What's difficult about it is it feels really exposing of you as a person. If there's any sense of like imposter syndrome or anxiety about how you are, it is amplified because there's no script. In TV, it's like you'll have a script, you'll have a rehearsal, and yes, you'll have the ability to go off and on a bit of a tangent, but you're going to be brought back. And there's a team of people, there's that command center in your ear going, you've got that 30 seconds now. We're going to tell you, oh, you're going to do this thing next. You've got that support network. And on the radio, it's like, no, talk now. Make this thing make sense, make this thing funny, make this thing land. And you're also talking to nothing, even though you're trying to talk to one person.
Yeah.
It just feels like that safety net isn't there. And also with TV, there's never enough time in TV. It's always like, oh, we're running over, we've got to drop this thing, or we've got to tighten that bit. And you've got someone who's obsessively and necessarily looking at time. The PA whose job is to go, you've got 1 minute on this. You can't go over, because otherwise the show that comes next is going to suffer. And in radio, time is just really flexible. But like anything, you do it enough and you kind of you figure it out.
And now, I mean, gosh, you nailed it, because you're one of Radio 1's longest serving presenters at the moment.
Long time,
no, do you know what I mean? It's incredible how time catches up. And you often think like, I'm getting the hang of it now. And then suddenly like, actually, no, I'm one of the old school.
It's weird because I still feel new. And I don't, and I can't articulate why, because I definitely am not.
Yeah, but I'm a little further on in my career, and you never lose that feeling. Even like whatever you do, you feel new at it.
Yeah.
And that's what you actually need to try and keep, because you feel like you're enjoying being there.
When I first started it, I found it the hardest job I'd ever done.
Yeah.
And now it's the easiest job I've ever done, because it is joyful. You turn up, I'm working with my best friend.
Yeah, Molly. I mean,
an absolute star.
Yeah.
It's like a perfect vent for creativity, because it gobbles up ideas. I need that, because I have a lot of ideas, and I'm like, I've got to get these out of me somehow. And so the radio is an amazing vehicle for that.
As well,
And it's in the middle of the day. It's just it's a dream.
Yeah, great. I mean, so there you were as a young lad doing your links, working to time. Did you have animals in the house at that time in your life?
My mum had rabbits when she was younger,
right,
and she'd spoken of them so fondly. And there was a pet shop in Portsmouth where I grew up, and they had a couple of guinea pigs, a couple of rabbits, and I think a cockatoo. And so, we got one. And, I think we had the best intentions of, they're going to live outside in a hutch, they'll come inside sometimes, but within probably minutes, it became a fully fledged house rabbit. And it dominated our house.
It is? Wow.
It slept on my sister's bed or under my sister's bed. And it created its own areas where it decided it was the toilet. And so one of those was in the hearth of a fireplace in our back room, the room next to the living room.
Yeah.
And then the other one was at the top of the stairs, and it would just do its poops and its wee-wees there. And I became very accustomed to just walking around the house and seeing rabbit droppings everywhere.
Yeah.
And I remember my friends visiting and going like, this isn't normal. This is an unusual thing that's happening here.
Yeah.
Why is there so much rabbit poo around?
Yeah. And were you into them? Did you like stroking them, grooming them? Was that you would do that as well?
Loved spending time with the rabbits. Yeah. Yeah, they were great. Buttons had more of an affinity for my sister than he did for anyone else in the house.
Right.
Wasn't that interested in anyone, but loved her. But yeah, we would spend a lot of time having a snuggle. It was great.
Yeah.
And then Buttons died in, I'm going to say, horrifying circumstances.
Oh dear.
And certainly traumatic circumstances at that age. I've told the story to Molly, and she's like, please never tell me that story again. But I'm going to share it with you.
Oh, Matt. Do we need to put any warnings out there before you start this?
Well, spoiler alert, the rabbit dies. No, I think we're okay.
Okay.
I think there is a warning within the story. I've always been quite anxious, and I was really anxious about the rabbit as a kid, and I was anxious about it eating something that was poisonous. And we had this plant in our front garden that someone had said, oh, they're poisonous to rabbits. It was like, well, the rabbit never goes in the front garden, ever. And the rabbit went in the back garden all the time. And then there was a day, I think there was some building work going on or something, and they were like, oh, we'll just go out in the front garden. And I was like, that plant. They were like, he's fine. He's not going to eat that plant. Now, I don't know if I've conflated this story because I was young.
Yeah.
But as it played out in my mind, the rabbit went out in the front garden, fell sick that night. And we were like, oh God, what's gone on? Took him to the vet, and he was not well. And I've never heard a rabbit make a noise before, but on the vet's table, it screamed.
Oh.
A human scream, Matt. It was like a high-pitched,
oh no.
And
had you all gone to the vets, had you?
It was me and my dad.
Oh.
And I looked at the vet, and the vet said, oh, maybe we should keep him in overnight. Then the scream happened. And I said to the vet, okay, yeah, keep him in overnight. And the vet went, I think that was it. I think he's just gone then. On the scream. I was like, oh my God. So it's he left this earth a guttural screech. Yeah. So I don't know if it was the poisonous plant, but I always have thought
Matt,
that was it. So that was my first sense of grief.
I bet that was very traumatic, actually.
I was very against getting another rabbit because I was like, no one will live up to Buttons. And then we did eventually get another rabbit that my sister had kind of like pushed for.
Right.
And
was that from the same pet shop? Or was it?
Do you know, I can't remember where that one came from. And I think initially I was a bit like, I want nothing to do with the new rabbit. And then I eventually came round. So we had rabbits, and then
did that one live in the house in a similar fashion?
That one just picked up where the other one left off. Yeah, it was like, everywhere. Right, so this is where we're doing most of our poos, and this is where we're doing most of our wees. Yeah, if anything, I think that one had even more free reign. Right. What I do remember is that they used to nibble electrical wires. They would nibble through the rubbery bit, and then they'd nibble down almost to the point of where like they'd just get to the very edge of the copper wire. It's like one more nibble and you'd be electrocuted. But they would just go all the way down and stop. So everything electrical in our house was covered in, insulating tape.
Was it?
Yeah.
I mean, your parents were obviously quite relaxed about the rabbits, and they were like,
they seemed pretty chill about it. Yeah,
they didn't want to lock them up and stop them from nibbling wires.
No, they were. It was just an accepted part of like, the rabbit's, he's taken out another lamp.
Right. So all of your sort of pet experience was rabbit based then, as a young
completely. Man. And I didn't know anyone who had a cat or anyone who had a dog. So the first dog,
didn't know anyone.
No.
Right.
So I'd never really met a dog until my wife's family had a dog called Layla. And Layla was a big, I'm trying to think what the breed was, but big, black, hairy, slobbery.
Right.
First dog I ever met. And Layla greeted me like a big, black, slobbery dog would, which was just launched at me. And I was like, oh my God.
So you're in this stage, so you've been going out with Bryony for a while then?
For a while.
And you're trying to
go
make
to meet
a good
the family
impression.
and get, this dog is like as tall as me on my shoulders. And I was initially a bit intimidated.
Bet you were.
And I'd always imagined I'd be a cat person. And then Layla sort of broke me down over time. And I was like, I love this dog.
Yeah.
And then eventually, Brian and I were talking, well, one day when we lived together, we could get our own dog.
Yeah.
And we, for some reason, decided immediately, we'll get a West Highland Terrier. That's what we'll get. And so we used to buy each other cards with West Highland Terriers on before we even had Oscar. And then we decided, we'll call him Oscar. So he kind of existed in our imaginations long before we had him. And then when we eventually bought our first place together, which was this teeny tiny little cottage, we had no money at all. We'd spent all of it on the house, like everything we had and then some, to the point where I remember there was an argument over the buying of a new spatula because I was like, we can't afford it, Bryony. She's like, it's £1.95. I'm like, we can't afford it, we've got no money. But the one thing we did do was go, we need to get a dog. We need to. And
that was a joint sort of need.
100%. Yeah. I was like, we in a way, the house had almost been to get this, to get Oscar. It's like, that's how we're going to do it. And so, that was the quest to find him.
So the quest then, how did the quest come about and where did you start?
Well, so we moved to this house, no money, arguing about the spatula. Then Bryony said, well, we should start thinking about the dog. And I was like, okay, yeah, we don't have any money, but we should. And she said, well, why don't we just go and like, look? We'll go, and I naively was like, yeah, great. Not thinking that if you go and look, you're going to fall in love with the puppy immediately.
Of course you are.
And so she said, I've seen this advert, maybe online or Gumtree or something, and it was a family in Southampton, and they just had this litter of puppies. And she's like, why don't we go and look and see? And so we drove to Southampton, and we went in, and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, these puppies. What I remember most vividly was it was on the approach to Christmas, and they had maybe that was when we picked him up, but they had an inverted Christmas tree, which I've never seen before or since. They had an upside down Christmas tree. Wow. So the top of it
was
the
star
in the base,
was in the bottom,
and the top of it was very odd. And
so when you say it was the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, is that what you're talking about?
That was it. No, I mean the puppies. So there was this litter of puppies, and a few of them I think they'd found homes already, and we went and we played with them, and Oscar was the biggest one there, and he just would not leave me alone. Oh, right. He was just, constantly
in a nice way, not in a crazy kind of way.
No, in like a I want to come and cuddle way.
Right.
And I remember he came up and he kept like nibbling at my thumb and almost like sucking my thumb.
Right.
And
you felt a connection instantly.
I was like, instantly. And then Bryony had sort of been hanging out at the mall. And then I said, I think I know which dog is ours. She said, I think I know which dog is ours as well. And I said, it's that one, isn't it? She was like, yes, it's that one. And so we'd gone in with me being like, I don't think we can do this. And we're like, cool, when can we have it? and we had to wait 8 long weeks before we went and collected him.
Yeah.
But it was the most magical thing having him as a puppy.
And then I guess you went home and started then puppy proofing your house in the way that you do when you're expecting children almost at that time in your life.
I would say we were more diligent with him than we were when we had our actual human babies.
Yeah, well.
We were like, all we spoke about for about the first 6 months was the quality of his poo. Has he done a poo? What was it like? What kind of texture was it?
Of course.
You become obsessed with it. There was a night where he was feeling unwell and we slept in our hallway because we were like, we have to be down, we have to be near him.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And we're trying to train him to sleep in his bedroom, so that's what we're going to do.
You do that, absolutely.
Yeah. So, he became our entire life. The object of which everything orbited around.
That sort of weight of responsibility that you have with a dog is almost great preparation.
It's an amazing training ground. Yeah.
And you're in it together and you're doing what's best for the puppy and the dog as it's growing up, and the dog's going through all sorts of different things through its different stages from puppyhood into adolescence and the training and all of that. Did you enjoy that side, that journey, if you like?
Yeah, I did. I mean, he was quite anxious as a puppy. Like separation anxiety was big.
Right.
So we found that hard to navigate, and his way of dealing with it was to destroy things that he knew we would care about. So I had about 3 pairs of really nice leather shoes, all of which were just eaten. And it's hard to be angry because you're like, well, he doesn't know he doesn't know what he's up to.
There's no such thing as bad behavior.
Exactly.
There's just behavior.
Yeah.
They're doing it for a reason. He's not doing it to annoy you. I'm going to, upset my dad by eating his shoes.
The only time I ever got truly angry with Oscar was when he had to wear the cone of shame from the vet. We bought him a soft one. Mm-hmm. Which, the idea is it's almost like a pillow. It's like one of those airport pillows almost.
Yeah.
It does this. It has the same function, but he would not let me put it on him. And it was like being in the ring with Tyson Fury. He was just ducking and diving and dodging. I was trying everything I could to get this collar onto him.
Were you?
And it took 1 hour of him just constantly just slipping out of my grip to the point where I was like, fine, I've got to go to work now. If you want to get an infected paw, so be it. And then my wife came back and she did manage to put it on him. But yeah, that's the only time I can remember being genuinely furious with him, which is like after an hour of just like a sweaty mess, being like, why can't I pin this dog down?
No. But he's given you so much in your life.
And my God.
And he's been there through, obviously before your children came along, How did he cope with that? If he was used to just the two of you and being the centre of attention in that respect, how did he react when the babies started coming?
Do you know what? He was great. He was really, obviously there was a sort of demotion in the pecking order, but yeah, he was really interested in them as babies.
Yeah.
And he was quite protective of them.
Did you worry?
No.
You didn't worry at the start when you were thinking, how is he going to react?
No.
It was never entered your mind.
No. He was so kind and gentle, and he just wanted to kind of like nuzzle up to them.
Nice, yeah. Lovely.
And he would, he'd follow us around, follow them around. I used to have a sort of post-bath time routine with Ivy when she was under a year old. And it would involve singing silly songs, and she'd have like one of those towels that had the little hood on, like a traitor's cloak. And I'd cover her eyes up and then do peekaboo. And one of the things I used to do was pretend to fall on her. So I'd go, oh, and sort of put my hands out and then come down and give her a little kiss. And then, oh, and he hated it.
Did he?
Because he didn't like the idea that, I could fall on her.
Yeah, sure.
So he used to come and try and intercept.
Oh.
And I remember thinking, he knows.
Yeah.
He knows that this feels like danger. And he doesn't want her to be in any jeopardy.
Meg, who I was on Blue Peter with, when our first one arrived, she would lie underneath the carry cot. We used to put it by the window, and she would lie underneath. And then if we were off doing something around the house or whatever, and as soon as he stirred, Meg would literally run straight up. Nudge, 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 as if to say he's awake.
It's incredible. Yeah, like a little guard dog. He's been just amazing with both of our kids, and they are, they dote on him. They absolutely love him.
And this is the thing from a father's perspective, to have a dog in the house that you never had. I guess that's quite an interesting perspective. You had your rabbits, of course, but dogs, they give you something different to a rabbit. It's not the same. Yeah, you describe him as the love of your life.
He is. He's the dog love of my life. Yeah.
To
the point, and I actually had a conversation with Bryony the other day, because he's 14, so inevitably at some point we're going to have to say goodbye to him.
You are.
And I think about it more than I would like to.
Do you?
When I come down in the mornings, I'm like, I hope today isn't the day. I hope today isn't the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that he's one of those dogs that's like, oh my God, we've got a dog that lived to 20. But he might not be. And he probably won't be. And so I think about, well, how am I going to process that? And I said to Bryony, I love him so much, and I know I will want to have other dogs in my life, but I don't want to forget this. I don't want to get to 60 and be like, oh yeah, we had a dog called Oscar. I want to feel like, no, we had Oscar.
Yeah.
Oscar was a big part of our lives.
Yeah. I'm on dog number 20 now.
What?
Would you believe?
What are you doing to them?
I mean, on the farm and in the family, and our sort of. It's funny you saying he's part of the family. It is like a family member. It's not like they have a dog, mum has a dog, dad. We have dogs, of course, as a family, and the breeds that we've gone through, and every single one of them is so incredibly special and teaches you something different about yourself, and you'll never lose that feeling. And
no, I hope not. I
just value every day from now on. I would say,
I do. Every night I get back and I have my little cuddle with him.
He's gorgeous. He's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, he really is. I feel like we lucked out on the dog front, and I tell him with great sincerity and I really believe it every day. I'm like, you're the greatest dog that's ever lived. You are just the best. How did I get so lucky? You're such a great dog.
Well, that's the thing. It's the appreciation that he senses from you. And at the end of the day, it's a big old partnership. And I think back to me growing up, I had, when I was young, hyperactivity. That's what it was called back then. These days, it all has different names and stuff. But, hyperactivity for me to have a dog was like, I would confide in these animals, and they would be so helpful for me to like get rid of all that energy. And I was just out running or climbing, but I was always accompanied by a dog. And it's incredible what they can give you at the different stages of whatever you're going through in your mind or whatever, or how helpful they can be to just be there and be that constant presence of trust.
I mean, yes, I talk to him all the time. Sometimes I wonder if he's going to get bored of me, because I often tell him the same things all the time, which are just like, I love you so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Molly and I, because she had a dog, Alfie, who passed away a few years ago, and we would always talk about like, what would you, if for whatever reason your dog could talk to you for 10 minutes, what would you want to say? What would you want to ask, and what would you want to say?
Yeah.
And my thing was always just, I'd want to know he was happy.
Yeah.
I'd want to know. I want him to know how loved he is.
I
want him to really just know it. And I think he does.
How do you think he would describe you on that note? What do you think he would say about you?
What would he say?
What kind of guy are you when you come through the door?
I think he would say that I was destined to be a dog owner. I think he would feel lucky that he found me as I feel lucky that I found him. And I think he would describe me as playful.
Great.
Yeah, that's which I would hope for my kids as well. When he was younger, his appetite for play was so big, and I used to love. I'd like go out of my way to find balls that I would think he's going to love the texture of this.
I love that.
He's going to love that.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I remember we were in New York once, so we went to this shop and they were selling squash balls, and I was just there like squeezing it. I was like, Bryony, come and feel this. She was like, oh my God. It's like, it's got just the right amount of air in it. He is gonna love this. And I bought 5 of them without knowing, obviously, and we got back and he was just like, boom, loved it, obsessed with that ball. That was the ball for him.
Oh, that's magic.
Yeah.
It's time to tell you a little bit more about our sponsor, Harringtons Dog Food. Now, of course, if you have dogs, they are part of the family, so it's only right that we pay as much attention as to what's going into their bowl as we do with our food. And that is why Harrington's superfood range is made with freshly prepared meat ingredients and boosted with carefully selected superfoods to support your dog's everyday health. Shop the range at harringtonspetfood.com and at leading grocery and pet retailers nationwide. Are we ready? Now we have a little nibble of that because you will be very excited to hear that we're going to start talking about dog food.
Oh my gosh.
We've got an expert with us, an expert in food, the health editor for Good Food.
Hi there.
Izzy, come in. This is Oscar down here, nibbling away.
Hi, nice to see you.
Star of the show,
There we are, and you'll like the look of this. We've got some food here as well.
Lovely.
Look, and
Are you liking that, Oscar?
I also have a picture of
My
this
pride
beautiful
and
dog.
joy. You can see why I was excited to meet Oscar.
Yeah, it's
I feel
basically
they're
the
cut from
inverted,
same
yeah.
cloth.
So this
I
is
know.
Tim. This is Tim.
This is Tim.
Right.
Great dog name.
And tell us a little bit about Tim, because he looks to me like he's got a bit of schnauzer in there.
He's a mini schnoodle. He's half mini schnauzer, half mini poodle.
Oh, yeah.
He's 5 years old. He is the dog love of my life.
Is
He
he?
brings me so much joy.
Yeah.
We have been on a bit of a journey with Tim and his tummy.
Have you?
Poor boy. He was very sickly a few years ago and he wasn't well. He was really low energy and feeling very sad. And we kind of realised through a bit of trial and error that it was actually his food doing it to him. So we made this switch, and honestly, he's been a different dog ever since.
Wow. I mean, so you're taking your professional world of
And
human
applying it,
diet
yeah.
home.
Yes, I am. So I've learned a lot about the benefits that certain foods can have for dogs that also benefit humans. And while that's not every food, there are certainly some crossovers. And I think there's some really fantastic ingredients to pull out that have benefits for dogs as well. So that can include sweet potato, which is a fantastic source of energy because it's a carbohydrate. We've got green beans, which are a great source of iron, which supports heart health. And even pomegranate that most people wouldn't think you might spy on a dog food packet. Actually, it supports collagen production. So it's really great for their little joints and mobility. What I do at work is I try and find ways to help people feel their best through the meals that they prepare for themselves and the food choices that they make. And I sort of thought, well, surely I could do the same for my dog. And then as soon as we made the switch, we saw he's a completely different boy now. He's much more confident and much happier.
All right.
And he's not, getting bad tummy anymore. He's not eating grass all the time. So I think for me, what was so exciting about this Harrington's superfood range is just helping people do that on a daily basis, is give their dogs the best so that they can get the best from their dogs.
We had a similar thing with Oscar, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, he had, I think it's quite common with Westies, they have skin conditions and also lots of tummy trouble. And we, honestly, the first 4 or 5 years of his life, we were like trying every single thing.
Yeah.
And when you find the thing that works for you, it's such a relief.
Yeah.
Because suddenly that's a massive mental load of worry taken away.
Yeah, it's huge. And I think because you love them a lot and you can't, it's really hard when they can't tell you why they're not feeling great. So you keep trying, making little adjustments. It's really great that people are starting to know these things. And I think there's so many ways you can give your dogs these foods. Like you say, just give them a banana or bake them some sweet potato. But actually what I really love this Harringtons Superfoods range is because it makes that really easy and accessible for people. So you don't have to be cooking your dog sweet potato from scratch. You can actually just give them Harringtons Superfoods every day, and that will still hit all of those nutritional needs.
That's the thing, because when you get obsessed with it, you can start creating quite a food regime, can't you? I mean, it can get very complicated.
Yeah, as it can with your own health. You know, if you really, really go for it on the meal prep side of things, suddenly it takes up your whole life.
Yeah.
There are lots of people out there who, you know, I love Tim very much. Lots of people love their dogs enough to be cooking them freshly prepared meals all the time. But it takes up a lot of your time. It's really expensive and also takes up a lot of freezer space. I live in a small London flat. That's not something I have. So for me, if I can save time and money and also my freezer space so that it's for me and not for my dog, then that's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's really easy now and simple with Harrington Superfood range that you can just have their ambient meals, which are 92% meat and superfood blend, and that will kind of really support your dog's like longevity and life and help them to live their best life. I just think he's like, what an icon he is, that he's 14 and just low key over there, the star. He's a great example of prime health,
of good dog ownership as well, Matt. You're obviously doing the right thing.
The food thing, honestly, it gave us sleepless nights.
Yeah, it would.
He had so many stomach issues. And we kept taking him to the vet and they would say, oh, it's just a Westie thing. And actually, my wife was like, no, we're going to figure this out and we're going to try it.
I mean, that's the biggest thing as a dog owner, deciding what you're going to feed the dog, because actually it's only eating what you're giving it. Massive responsibility in that, on that front.
Like I saw this thing that said, you only have a dog for part of your life, but they're with you for their whole life. And so I always think it made me cry.
What a thought.
But I do think, why not give them the best life that you can in every way? And like, you know, you take them out for lovely walks and make sure they're really healthy and well exercised. So you should be feeding them the right things as well. You know, there's lots of things in Harringtons that would support a dog all through the different age groups. So I think that's really great.
Mushrooms as well are a thing, aren't they?
Mushrooms, there's a lot of interest in the superfood world and the health world for humans and dogs in mushrooms like lion's mane and reishi, and actually they're starting to be sort of shown for the role that they play in cognitive development. And reishi mushrooms also support kind of feelings of calmness and overall well-being. So when we got Tim, I was really feeling your pain on the separation anxiety front. He was an anxious little boy.
Right.
And if I'd have known at that time that I could have helped his mental health with food, I would have definitely jumped for it, because we did so many training days through the separation anxiety, which was not nice for him because he was really sad.
Well, Izzy, thank you for that and for sharing your expertise with us all.
Thank you so
Really
much for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Thank
Lovely
you.
to meet Oscar.
Yeah, fun, isn't it?
He's just thinking, you've been talking about food, when am I going to get to eat some of it?
Yeah, is that a possibility?
Would you want to try a bit of this? We could open up the
Oh God, he'd
superfoods.
love that.
Should we do that?
You can always tell who a dog's favourite person is in the room.
Let's have a
can't
look.
you?
Ready? Oh, look at the ears.
Those
Ready?
ears are just magical.
A little nibble of superfood.
Which flavour is this? This is the chicken.
We've gone for chicken, and he's nibbling, and he's
gonna love
thinking that is superfood.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's not the best review you could ask for
There you
from
go.
a dog.
You could put a handful of that in your pocket, Matt.
Oh, thank you very much.
You can stink
Thank
out
you.
the Radio 1 studio.
Oh my God.
Across
Yes.
London.
This, by the way, is exactly what our rabbit poos look like back in the house. These little pellets.
Yeah, you'll be mid-link and you'll be thinking, is that salmon, chicken or green beans I can smell? We're going to have to be quick, Matt, because you are on the radio in a matter of hours. So I know you love your board games.
Yes.
We do a little thing called the Petcast quiz.
Great. Oh, I love a quiz.
Right, Oscar, you can help if you would like. So here we go. Now, you did have a past as a little magician, didn't you?
Yes, I
As
did.
a young lad.
Yes.
Which we never really got a chance to talk about, but it's all part of the performance and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. But we're going to start with a bit of a magic question.
Okay,
So here we go.
great.
Who owned a dog called Bobby that could escape from miniature handcuffs and a miniature straight jacket? It's a magician of old. Do you know who that
I'm
might
hoping
be?
it's Harry Houdini.
It is Harry Houdini.
Yes, Eric Weiss.
Yes, it was a fox terrier called Bobby, the handcuffed king he was known as. He also claimed that Bobby was the greatest somersault dog who ever lived.
I believe it.
True or false? A gerbil can jump further relative to its size than a kangaroo.
I'm going to say that that's true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Gerbils can jump around 30 times their own body length.
That's amazing. What evolutionary reason exists for that?
They
can just get out of the way.
Yeah, I think
Predators
it's
coming,
sort of
boom,
like the
off I go.
gerbil sort of athletics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
They're the
gerbil
Greg
Olympics.
Rutherford of gerbils.
Yes. Complete the quote by Charles Dickens. What greater gift than the love of a
Dog.
cat?
Oh, what? Dickens? Did he never have a dog then?
He loved cats, famously illustrated by his favourite and deaf white cat named Bob when Bob died in 1862. Dickens was so distraught that he had one of the cat's paws preserved and mounted onto an engraved silver and ivory letter opener.
Yeah, you've gone too far there, Dickens. And also, my feeling of anyone that's that into a cat is they just haven't met a dog yet. They just haven't met a dog.
I agree. We have cats at home too, and I love them dearly if they're listening. Cats can drink seawater, true or false?
Oh, I mean, I don't want to be pedantic here, but of course they could. Whether it's good for them or not, I don't know. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
I believe they can.
They can. Thanks to their desert-dwelling ancestors, feline kidneys are highly efficient and can filter out excess sodium.
Really? God.
There we are. Which Hollywood superstar kept a pet pot-bellied pig for 18 years? Current Hollywood superstar.
Yes. Is it Brad Pitt?
No, it's not Brad Pitt, but they are connected.
They're connected to Brad Pitt?
Well, sort of like professionally.
Professionally connected. I feel like I do know this. A pot-bellied pig. It's not, it's not Tom Cruise.
No. Equal A-lister, though.
Equal A-lister. Who's up there with those guys? The thing is, you're going to tell me, and it's going to really frustrate me.
Okay, let me give you a clue.
Go on.
The Ocean's.
Oh, it's
film.
George Clooney.
It's George Clooney.
George Clooney, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Max, he was called.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that and thinking, great. Yeah, would a pig make a good pet?
Well, he first purchased this pet for his girlfriend at the time, Kelly Preston.
So
and then
one way of
he
showing your love.
left the pig behind when they broke up.
Oh,
so.
no, she got custody rights of the pig.
Seems so.
Oh, no.
And we'll finish up with how long is a goldfish's memory?
Well, I think they get a bad rep, don't they?
Is it longer than 3 seconds or not longer than 3 seconds?
Firstly, I'd love to know how they've tested this.
Yeah,
I believe it has to be longer than 3 seconds.
It is longer than 3 seconds, yes. A lot longer than 3 seconds, possibly up to 5 months or more. The idea that goldfish have a memory of only 3 seconds is a myth. Studies have shown that goldfish can learn to recognize their owners, remember feeding times, navigate simple mazes, be trained to perform tricks such as swimming through hoops, not jumping, swimming through hoops, or pushing a ball, and associate sounds or lights with food rewards.
Up to 5 months.
So there you are. Wow. I think you did quite well on the Petcast.
Yeah, I think I did all right. I'm annoyed by the George Clooney one there. But yeah, I feel satisfied. Oscar, you gave me zero help.
Zero help.
You turned your back on that.
There you are, mate.
You're a big George Clooney fan as well.
Oh,
unbelievable.
Why did you keep quiet? I think you fell asleep, didn't you?
Yeah, it's had a little nap. Yeah. He's at that age now where it's basically eating or napping.
Yes.
And sometimes going for a poo, but most of the time it's just eating or napping. And eating happens in about 45 seconds.
Well, on that note, Oscar, you have been incredibly patient. Thank you both so much for joining me in the Petcast Caravan.
And you've been a good boy as well, Matt.
Oh,
let's not let him have all the compliments. You've been great as well.
Please do take the Petcast
mug.
Oh
my God, I'd love to. It's got my name on it.
There you are. Send my love to Molly.
I will.
And if you've enjoyed what you've been listening to, then please do follow us wherever you get your podcasts from. From all of us in the Caravan, bye for now.